Nigerian's leadership in regional security. The Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to deploy Nigerian troops to the Republic of Benin following last weekend's attempted coup that threatened democratic stability in the country. Defense correspondent Kike Lomo Okeri has details.
The approval came after the Senate met in the Committee of the Whole during plenary to deliberate on a letter from the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seeking legislative consent for the deployment of Nigerian forces as part of a peace support mission in Benin. The request read on the floor by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, was presented as an urgent call to action in response to rising instability within the West African sub-region. After extensive deliberation, lawmakers unanimously voted in favor of the deployment, granting full constitutional backing to the president to proceed with the mission aimed at restoring order and safeguarding democratic governance in Benin. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, described the decision as a necessary step to protect regional peace, noting that instability in any member state of the Economic Community of West African States poses a direct threat to collective security.
Peace mission and restore order and sanity in that country, thereby saving Nigerians from thousands and thousands of refugees and also saving Nigerian borders from unnecessary criminality and disruption of peace and stability. Those in support of the confirmation of the approval say aye. Those against say nay. The approval is hereby confirmed.
With the Senate approval set to be transmitted to President Tinubu without delay, Nigeria's armed forces are now cleared to join the peace mission, reinforcing the country's commitment to regional stability and its frontline role in safeguarding democracy across West Africa. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress from the People's Democratic Party. The governor announced his defection at a stakeholders meeting held at the Government House in Port Harcourt. Fubara joined a host of his colleagues who would have defected to the APC this year. Chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Dr. Musa Aliyu, SAN, has called on Nigerian youth to take a decisive stand against corruption, describing them as the nation's most critical drivers of integrity and sustainable development. He made a call at the 2025 International Anti-Corruption Day commemoration held in Abuja. Speaking on the theme, Uniting the Youth Against Corruption, Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity, Dr. Aliyu noted that young Nigerians hold the key to building a corruption-free society. He noted that their energy, creativity, and courage provide a strong foundation for enduring integrity systems. In a renewed effort to tackle rising security threats across Nigerian campuses, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFund, in partnership with Bakas Guard, has convened a two-day international workshop which is aimed at developing a comprehensive security master plan for tertiary institutions. The initiative brings together key stakeholders to chart sustainable measures for safeguarding students and staff. Ramsey Enoch Abu was there for Global Television.
The two-day workshop brought together security experts, university administrators, government representatives, and technology providers to address what organizers describe as an urgent national priority. Chairman, Board of Trustee, TETFund, Bello Masari, while declaring the workshop open, says campus security is a shared responsibility.
This banditry will not flourish. Okay, police are not doing their job. Are you doing your job? Military are not doing. Are you doing your job? The people living in those isolated places in forests and things, they feed, they clothe. How do they do it? Without the active connivance of the locality surrounding them?
Executive Secretary of TETFund, Sonny Echono, says the proposed security master plan will provide a unified framework for surveillance, intelligence sharing, emergency response and staff training across all tertiary institutions.
If they go to the marketplace and pick 30 people, it will not make enough impact as going to a school to go and pick 5 or 10 students. Because people know that students are usually helpless, they are vulnerable, they represent the hope and aspirations of all of us as a people.
The director of Baka's Guard in his speech says tertiary institutions are citadels of learning. Therefore, students and instructors need a rest of mind.
It's only in the campus you will find everybody. You have even some security personnel living on campus, police, soldiers, SSS and all this.
Participants at the workshop expressed optimism that once adopted, the master plan will help strengthen campus safety.
Well, at the end of this workshop, we expect to have a strategic plans that will make our institution have a better improved security arrangement.
This is a wake-up call for us to do better than before. In fact, personally, I've taken note of certain reforms.
Taking it down and implementing it in our various institutions, it will help to bring down the security challenges and insecurity in most tertiary institutions.
Due to the high rate of security situation in the country, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, in collaboration with Baka's Guard, have put together a workshop to train and intimate stakeholders on how they can put up surveillance as it has to do with security situations in various tertiary institutions around the country. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News. When Midday News returns, South Korea, Japan protests China, Russia aircraft incursions. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that short break. And in business news, Senate has taken a firm stance on soaring domestic airfares, summoning the Minister of Aviation Festus Keyamo alongside airline operators and aviation regulators. This move follows growing concern over sharp price increases that threaten national mobility, especially ahead of the festive season. National Assembly correspondent Topsy Gimba completes the reports.
The Senate's call to action emerged on a motion sponsored by Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah, who warned that skyrocketing airfares on key South-South and South-East routes could disrupt travel plans this Yuletide season. Data presented in plenary revealed that one-way ticket prices have climbed by as much as 150%, with fares now exceeding 300,000 naira, compared to the pre-festive average of about 120,000 naira. Further analysis shows some ticket prices reaching a staggering of 400,000 to 600,000 naira on major routes like Abuja to Lagos. Lawmakers linked this surge in airfares to worsening highway insecurity and poor road network, which driven more Nigerians to choose air travel, intensifying demands and fare volatility.
Nigerians have been complaining seriously about the price hike of airline and finding it very difficult to travel from one destination to the other.
Take your seat. Other senators echo these worries.
Just one way, not even round trip. It's too exorbitant. As you rightly said, when the synopsis of the motion was given, that the minimum wage for Nigerians is 70,000 naira. It means a civil servant will have to save 5 months' salary or even 6 months' salary before he could afford one-way ticket to Lagos. Fine. Thirdly, sir, there will thirdly issue related to foreign exchange. I'm of the opinion that in the past, there is this intervention by the Central Bank of Nigeria, while so many airline operators were given some consideration, some exemption, concessional rates, and up to now, and I know it's still on.
However, the Senate has tasked its committees to meet with Minister Keyamo, airline representatives, and regulatory authorities this week. They are expected to explain the causes behind the fare hikes and proposed strategies to stabilize air travel costs, ensuring affordable flights for Nigerians during the holidays.
That we should, as a matter of urgency, invite the relevant stakeholders in the aviation industry, including the Minister of Aviation, NCA, FAN and others, to a close meeting with the Senate to discuss the abysmal rise in airfares, to avoid exploitation of Nigerians, and also to alleviate the suffering of people and avoid disruption.
The Aviation Ministry and airline operators are now under pressure to provide clear answers and workable solutions as the festive season approaches. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The Security and Exchange Commission has asked the Investment and Security Tribunal to order freezing of bank accounts belonging to Crypto Bridge Exchange and 25 other defendants alleged to have operated an unlawful digital asset investment scheme that defrauded Nigerians of an estimated 1.3 trillion naira. The request was made during the first sitting of the 6th tribunal in the case. Securities and Exchange Commission and Anno v. Crypto Bridge Exchange and 25 others presided over by the tribunal chairman Aminu Junaidu. The SEC urged the tribunal to compel commercial banks and other financial institutions in Nigeria to immediately freeze all accounts linked to the defendants. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee has given the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited a final deadline of December 15 to appear before it and submit all outstanding documents relating to 2021 audit queries. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick reports.
Committee chairman issued the directive at a strategic meeting in Abuja. He expressed displeasure over NNPCL's continued refusal to honor the committee's invitations, describing the conduct as disrespectful to the parliament.
Okay, which is still thought. So we'll give you up till Monday 15th, but before then, liaison officer, please ensure that whoever has a responsibility to submit any of the outstanding documents that have not been submitted does so. It is very important that we have the necessary documents to work with.
Before the ruling, the chairman read a letter from NNPCL's Group Chief Executive Officer, Engineer Bayo Ojulari, who explained his absence due to an engagement at the presidential villa. But lawmakers faulted the company's attitude, insisting it was obstructing the audit review.
Mr. Chairman, sir, this committee is very important to oversight everybody in this country. NNPC cannot be above this company. Does it mean that they have not been auditing their account for the past these 2 years that have been a limited liability company for years? It's just a matter that they have audited their company. They have done all they can do. Why don't they just find a time, come and resolve this one before we go to other years?
Following an appeal from NNPCL's National Assembly Liaison Officer, Umar Farouk, the committee granted a final grace for the company to appear on December 15th and tender all required documents.
On this engagement with presidency. So that is why, Mr. Chairman, sir, if you can recall, we were here with you on Friday. We were here with you, on Wednesday to show our seriousness and to show our readiness with our management to come and appear before this August committee.
NNPCL is expected to respond to several audit red flags, including payments to contractors for abandoned projects, failure to deduct statutory taxes, and alleged irregular payment by the Chief Finance Officer without due approval. The committee says NNPCL's compliance next week will determine its next line of action on the 2021 audit queries. From the National Assembly, Anita Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
And on the foreign scene, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has announced a state of emergency across the region. President of the Commission, Umar Toure, made the declaration during the 55th session of the Mediation and Security Council at the ministerial level in Abuja. The meeting was convened in response to a series of coup and failed mutinies affecting countries in sub-region. The International Criminal Court, ICC, has handed down a sentence of 20 years to a Sudanese militia leader for war crimes and crimes against humanity committed during the country's civil war 2 decades ago. The court had already convicted Ali Muhammad Ali Abdurrahman, also known as Kushab, of 27 counts of crimes against humanity and war crimes, including rape, murder, and torture in the western Darfur region between 2003 and 2004. Over to Uyi Abomofwebe for details.
The court had found that Abd al-Rahman was a leading member of Sudan's infamous Janjaweed militia who participated actively in multiple war crimes during the civil war, with presiding judge Joanna Corona stating that Abdul Rahman personally perpetrated beatings, including with an axe, and gave orders for executions.
Abd al-Rahman's conviction is the first acknowledgement that the people of Darfur were not victims of mere intertribal conflict or something akin to that. They were victims of a deliberate campaign.
The 76-year-old, wearing a blue suit and a tie, stood calmly as the presiding judge passed the sentence, citing victims who said he had carried out a campaign of extermination, humiliation, and displacement.
The chamber found that between August 2003 and March 2004, Abd al-Rahman had command of an irregular force known as the Janjaweed, which systematically conducted operations against villages and towns in Darfur, inhabited primarily by members of the Fur tribe, who it was perceived supported the rebellion against the government of Sudan.
Abdul Rahman had denied being a high-ranking official in the Janjaweed militia, a largely Arab paramilitary force armed by the Sudanese government to kill mainly black African tribes in Darfur 2 decades ago. In passing sentence, Corona said the ICC wanted to ensure both retribution and deterrence. Uyi Agbomofwebe, reporting for Global TV News.
South Korea and Japan have reacted after Chinese and Russian military aircraft conducted joint patrols around the two countries with the Seoul and Tokyo scramble jets. South Korea said it had protested with representatives of China and Russia, while Japan said it had conveyed its serious concerns over national security. According to Tokyo, 2 Russia Tu-95 nuclear-capable bombers on Tuesday flew from the Sea of Japan to rendezvous with 2 Chinese H-6 bombers in the East China Sea, then conducted a joint flight around the country. And in sports, Tanzania coach Miguel Gamondi has announced his final 28-man squad for the 2025 Total Energies African Cup of Nations, confirming the group that will attempt to guide the Tefia Stars out of the tournament's group stage for the first time in their history. The squad, revealed after an earlier provisional list, blends key overseas-based players with a strong core from Simba SC, Young Africans, and Asman FC. Tanzania, making their 4th appearance at the Centennial Finals, have been drawn into a demanding Group A alongside Nigeria, Tunisia, and regional rival Uganda. It was a thrilling weekend for grassroots women's football in Abuja as Havel Angels Academy were crowned champions of the 2025 High Game Girls Football Tournament, a rapidly growing platform shaping the future of girl child in sports. Anita Patrick completes the story.
The Area 3 pitch in Abuja erupted in celebration as Havel Angels Academy dethroned defending champions Fosla Academy with a dominant 2-0 victory, sealing their place as the new queens of her Game 2025 tournament. This year's edition marked a major leap, expanding from an FCT-only contest to a fully North Central regional event with 16 teams, a sign of the tournament's rising influence. Havel's breakthrough came in the first half through Agatha John before star striker Lillian Odide scored in a brilliant free kick to put the results beyond doubt. Foster nearly found their way back, but Queen Joseph's penalty struck the crossbar. In the third place match, Silk Paragons of Jos edged Generation Next to claim bronze and a 100,000 prize. Foster earned 150,000 while Hovel Angels smiled home with 250,000 as champions.
I was really happy. I didn't expect that I'm going to come up with this trophy. Yes, ma, and I pray that God will continue to help us with the female footballers.
For first class captain, the loss was painful, especially after beating Hovel in their opening game.
Well, I will first of all thank God for the privilege given unto us, and then to my team. I'm seeing my team in a place that I see my team in national teams. Yes, I see my teammates in national teams. One has represented us already in Morocco World Cup, and I see more going to clubs and all of that. Yeah.
Individual brilliance also lit up the tournament. Foster's Habila Patricia was named most valuable player, while Hovel's Lillian Odide picked the goal both. Silk's Paragon goalkeeper Flora Williams shone brightly as best goalkeeper.
And I want to thank my coach also for the practice, the encouragement he has been giving us throughout this tournament. We just want to say thank you to our coach. Yeah.
Beyond the medals, organizers say the real victory is a life-changing impact on the girls.
I would like to say that this is very commendable, because if women can be heard, can be given spaces to showcase their talents, their abilities, it will go a long way.
Football has changed our life. How football bring other girls from crime, from social vices.
The event drew top dignitaries from the chairman of the House Committee on Sports, who supported the tournament with a sum of 1 million naira, to football administrators, all united in support of women's football. Anieti Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
And that's it on Global TV Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, Channel 365 and Star Times, Channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now join on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.